This is wild. Only 66 people in the world have ever completed the Explorer's Grand Slam. That consists of climbing the highest mountain on every continent. Our next guest just got back from Mount Everest and has one more summit to go. Welcome, Chicagoan Alex Pancoe.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Full disclaimer, I think you're crazy, but I love your courage, and I love what you're doing it for, so we're going to talk about that. But we were just talking in the commercial break about Mount Everest. You just got back. How long does it take to climb to the top of Mount Everest?
It's a 2-month climb. You have to make 3 partial ascents. 2 months. And yeah, it's painful 2 months. You have to make 3 partial ascents of the mountain to acclimate and make more red blood cells. So it's your 3rd trip you actually go for the summit.
Really? So in between, I mean, for 2 months, where are you sleeping and eating and using the bathroom?
Yeah. Well, so base camp's fairly comfortable. I'm sitting there. We have internet. I'm watching Game Day though, so I'm keeping up on all my Cubs with the little like balls and strikes box and things of that nature. Food's great down at base camp. Bathroom situation.
What is the food? What is the food?
Yeah, and base camp. Explain all of this to us.
So at base camp we have food like they have their version of sushi. It's made with canned tuna, so it's not quite the real thing. And they get in fresh fruit and vegetables from Nepal, which is crazy. You have to actually bring them in on a yak because there's no roads where you are. And then as you go higher and higher up the mountain, it becomes more basic. You have freeze-dried meals, MREs, which are made ready-to-eat meals where you just add hot water. So yeah, the creature comforts are nice at base camp, and as you get higher up the mountain, not as nice.
Right. Uber Eats does not go up there, though.
Neither does Grubhub.
We talked about that, by the way, the whole time. What would you be eating if you were back home right now?
Did you say you had the internet?
Yeah.
So you are able to keep in touch with your loved ones and your family?
Yeah, at base camp.
And that's it?
Yeah.
But once you get past that, then how long before you're in communication with anyone you love?
We have dispatches, so we'll radio down to base camp and they'll type something up so they know that we're okay. And sometimes we had bad weather and it wasn't when we couldn't get out a dispatch for a day or so. Family wasn't very happy when you'd come back down.
Right, and this has been one of the deadliest years in Mount Everest in recent memory. I mean, you saw some things that humans shouldn't see.
Yeah, well, you know, first off, you do anticipate when you go up Mount Everest, you're going to see people dying. It's a very, very dangerous mountain. That's part of the challenge. Seeing it and knowing you're going to see it are 2 very, very different things. And going up summit day, we went after the famous photo of the lines. We didn't have lines the day we went up, but we saw kind of the residual effect from that, and it was really, really hard to see.
Oh.
Right.
I mean, there's a part of you that's walking past bodies, people who were alive a few hours earlier, and you know you're going to see it, but it's really hard to see.
And these are people that you've climbed with, right?
I knew both Americans.
You did?
Oh, wow. Awful.
Wow.
I know. Let's talk about the positive news here. Okay?
And why you're doing this.
Yes, you do this because you're a cancer survivor, right?
Yeah.
And you dedicate these climbs to other cancer patients, correct?
Right. So I started climbing the 7 summits, and I bring the W flag, the Cubs flag, up with me for each one. I also bring up the Lurie Children's flag. I started raising money and awareness, and full disclaimer, all my climbs are paid for out of pocket. So all this money goes direct to Lurie's. It's a cause that's very dear to me. And meeting with these families, meeting with these kids undergoing it, you know, it's the biggest physical and mental challenge in the world, what they're going through, and they do it with a smile on their face, and they don't let it knock them down. So we've raised almost $500,000. Climbs are dedicated to current and former patients. And Denali, my last one, is I was reading on Facebook about this girl named Abby, and she sounded so energetic. She had a brain tumor, and she continued to horseback ride. She continued to ski, and I said, let's reach out to this family and this girl and dedicate it to her. And then I kept reading and learned she passed away in 2015. So that really hit hard, but I've reached out to her family and we're dedicating Denali to her. And so
that's your last summit, right?
Right.
Yeah.
When is that?
I leave Friday.
How much downtime are you supposed to have in between those summits?
A lot more than that.
Really? What kind of training goes into place?
I've trained for 3 years, over 20 hours a week. I do 2 half marathons a week, 3 10Ks, 2 sessions in my stairwell of my building with 3 to 4 hours with anything up to a 70-pound pack. Lots of core, and I've spent over the actual technical training over 300 nights in tents the last 2 years training around the world and climbing mountains.
Wow, well, we wish you the best of luck. He's going to become the first Chicagoan to ever complete the Grand Slam.
Woo.